11 minutes, 20 seconds from entry interface.
11 minutes.
11 minutes?
Yeah.
About 10 minutes increasing separation until it finish the top one.
Hey guys, listen up for a sec. James is going to tell you what's about to happen in 2 minutes. So right now, the spacecraft is spinning gently, like you can see right there. In about 1 minute and 40 seconds, it's going to clear some thrusters on it to stop that spin, so it's not going in a, so it's not spinning in a circle. And after that, it's going to the back of the spacecraft is going to separate. Just the landing part is going to move forward. So yeah, the big step is getting ready to land. Yeah, the next really big thing happens in 1 minute and 20 seconds. So we're going to listen in.
That's very hopeful that this machine is going to do what we asked here to do.
Alright,
Okay, that means that the number 1 to 0 is coming. It's just the vehicle telling us it's so loud.
What's happening 11 minutes
We are
ago.
continuing to receive comms from Perseverance
All of this
and
actually already
standing by
happened.
for
It's
crew
going to
stage
take 11
separation.
minutes for us to find out. There it goes. Alright. That's good. That's supposed to happen. It's separated.
Whoa!
We have indication that crew stage separation has been confirmed by the spacecraft.
We're off on a good start.
In 1 minute, Perseverance's landing software will wake up and begin the smoke preparations for entry. The first action it will do is to fire warm-up pulses with its entry thrusters. These pulses ensure that your spacecraft gets the thrust that it wants during entry interface. We're about 9 minutes from entry interface.
Okay, so now the vehicle's on its own. It's turning itself in the direction of facing the heat shield toward Mars, and will eventually hitting the top of the atmosphere. We're not far away. This is going to go very quickly from here on out.
That's confirmation that we got shadowed by the crew stage as it passed through or beamed to the Earth.
Capcom indicated actually that we could see a signal that the crew stage went between the Perseverance entry capsule and Earth. So we saw a little blip, the data stream indicating crew stage separation. We have confirmation that the vehicle has started warming up those entry thrusters. Warm pulses have begun.
You guys see the countdown in the corner?
Yeah.
That's how long until it hits the Mars
At this
atmosphere.
point, the spacecraft is
Now,
from the cruise to evolution.
here's the thing, when it hits the atmosphere, we don't know what's going to happen. There's a 7-minute window where we just don't know what happened. And we won't know if it actually successfully landed until after that. So it's kind of a tense moment where we know it started correctly, but we don't know if it actually landed. And the other thing is, everything you're seeing happen already happened 11 minutes ago over in Mars. It takes that long for us to get a signal.
So right now they still do their job.
It very well may be. Well, no, it's not. It's just doing the separation.
From it, that the vehicle has a whole way to Mars as a spin-stabilized spacecraft. And then from here on out, it's going to just be a bullet, and it's going to control its orientation and attitude via rockets on the back of the action.
Point carrier lock. That's right. You get a DTE from the radio science from the Green Bank reports carrier lock. Gives you a carrier on the down. Flight number 1.
We're continuing to wait for entry interface. We're about 6 minutes and 45 seconds from entry interface. We have confirmation from Greenback that they are receiving direct to Earth telemetry via that path. The spacecraft Perseverance is currently transmitting heartbeat tones These terms indicate that Perseverance is operating normally and has nothing significant to report. This is as expected. We're currently just over 6 minutes from entry interface.
Okay. Now we wait. As soon as we get to the top of the atmosphere, will be very quickly, which is the entry point. It won't be very long before the atmosphere will start getting thicker and thicker. It's going very quickly at a fairly steep angle of 15 degrees into the atmosphere, and it just starts to slow
We're
down.
just under about 5.5 minutes from entry interface. We're still receiving heartbeat tones. We expect to continue receiving heartbeat tones until about 5 minutes after entry. At that time, Perseverance will be no longer in view of our atmosphere on Earth. About 90 seconds prior to entry, the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter should begin receiving telemetry from Perseverance and streaming it to Earth in near real time. There are a few expected short outages, such as when we have a plasma blackout or when we enter the peak heating phase. Aside from these outages caused by plasma blackout, intense switching, or high dynamic events, spacecraft events, we should have telemetry until about 90 seconds after landing. The plasma blackout is when the signal from Perseverance isn't strong enough to make it through the superheated, super fast air flowing around the spacecraft all the way down to Earth. Once the temperature drops below that peak heating, we do reacquire the signal from Perseverance. We are currently about 4.5 minutes from entry interface. Perseverance continues to report heartbeat tones, indicating everything is nominal.
Okay, and what we're looking for now is Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter should be in view soon of our vehicle and be able to listen to ones and zeros coming from a separate radio that's really designed to talk between spacecraft.
And we'll report the electro radio is powered on. We receive signals from the lander.
Okay. Jezero is ready and listening and able and waiting to hear from our rover.
Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter has reported that it's ready to receive the signal from Perseverance. It should be in a few minutes here. We're just from entry interface.
We don't need these ones and zeros, as Swati said, but to land safely, but we really need it for our own health and well-being today to keep our nerves under control.
Around these times, a second spacecraft, Maven, should begin picking up telemetry from Perseverance and will continue to record that telemetry until several minutes post-landing. We won't get that data for several hours after landing as it's being recorded and then will be forwarded to Earth later. We are continuing to receive heartbeat tones, indicating that everything is nominal. We're currently at about 3 minutes until entry interface.
Okay. Very soon we'll be getting ones and zeros, I hope, from our radio on the rover. The entry interface is nothing more than just an arbitrary place in the sky that we've defined to be above the atmosphere. But from that point on, there's definitely atmosphere, and above it there is
We are 2 minutes from entry interface. Perseverance to transmit heartbeat tones, indicating everything is normal.
So the tones can tell us whether something's bad or not is happening. So far the heartbeat is doing well. So the vehicle thinks it's in good shape to land, which is a great sign.
We're just under 2 minutes from entry interface. As it gets closer to Mars, Perseverance is actually being pulled in by gravity and accelerating. By the time Perseverance reaches entry interface point, she should be going just under 5.4 kilometers per second. We're at about 90 seconds from entry interface and standing by for Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter to pick up the telemetry. We are 1 minute from entry interface.
Rover in receive mode.
The confirmation that the multi-connect controller is now relaying data from Perseverance. We're about 30 seconds from entry interface. Perseverance is going about 5.2 kilometers per second and is about 190 kilometers altitude above the surface of Mars. Confirm your data flow. Seconds from entry interface. 5.3 kilometers per second and altitude of 150 kilometers from the surface of Mars.
You see all the steps on the side? Those are all the different stages before it actually lands, and it's going to walk through each of those. Wow.
We have confirmation of entry interface. Perseverance is currently going 5.3 kilometers per second at an altitude of about 120 kilometers from the surface of Mars. The ship is now waiting until it begins feeling the atmosphere slow down. Once there is enough atmosphere, it will start controlling its path to the landing target. Navigation is also confirming that we can see a little bit of that slowdown of the atmosphere on the Perseverance entry capsule. Our current velocity is about 5.36 kilometers per second and an altitude of about 67 kilometers from the surface.
We are probably seeing a real pleasant blackout.
The vehicle should be doing its turns right now.
Air as well flying.
Perseverance. We have indications that Perseverance is now performing bank reversals in the atmosphere. These are the steps in order to control its distance to the landing target. Perseverance has just passed through the point of maximum deceleration and has indicated that it felt approximately 10 Earth Gs of deceleration.
Air as well again.
Yes.
We saw a small outage of the UHF telemetry from Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter during that peak heating phase likely caused by the plasma blackout. Perseverance is still continuing to perform bank reversals in the atmosphere to control its distance to the landing target.
Just so you understand, these people that you're seeing on the screen have worked, some of them for the past 10 or 15 years to make sure that this spacecraft can make it to Mars without any humans once it gets there. It's pretty tense because there's a time period where they have no control over what's going to happen. They just see, did it work or did it not?
Straight to the target. Our current velocity is about 550 meters per second and an altitude of about 15 kilometers from the surface.
Wow.
Air is reporting the telemetry log.
We are coming upon the surface. We are starting the straighten up and fly right maneuver, where the spacecraft will jettison the entry balance masses in preparation for parachute deploy and to roll over to give the radar a better look at the ground. The navigation has confirmed that the parachute has deployed and we are seeing significant deceleration in the velocity. The current velocity is 400 meters per second at an altitude of about 12 kilometers from the surface of Mars.
In case you didn't get that, the parachute deployed.
President has slowed to subsonic speeds and the heat shield has been separated. This allows both the radar and the cameras to get their first look at the surface. Current velocity is 145 meters per second at an altitude of about 9.5 kilometers above the surface.
Yes.
President now has radar lock on the ground. Current velocity is about 100 meters per second, 6.6 kilometers above the surface. President is continuing to descend on the parachute. We are coming up on the initialization of terrain altitude navigation and subsequently the priming of the landing engines. Our current velocity is about 90 meters per second at an altitude of 4.2 kilometers. We have confirmation that the light vision system has produced a valid solution as part of terrain altitude navigation. We have
Figured out where to land. Woo! Yes.
current velocity is 83 meters per second at about 2.6 kilometers from the surface of Mars. We have confirmation that the back shell has separated. We are currently performing the divert maneuver. Current velocity is about 75 meters per second at an altitude of about a kilometer off the surface of Mars.
Kieran, thank you, Bravo.
We have completed our terrain altitude navigation. Current speed is about 30 meters per second, altitude of about 300 meters off the surface of Mars.
3 football fields above the ground right now. With rockets holding it, slowing down.
We have started our constant velocity accordion, which means we are conducting the sky crane, about to conduct the sky crane maneuver.
Now lowering
We
the
lost
lander
your
down
tones.
from the rockets.
As expected. As expected.
Sky crane maneuver has started. About 20 meters off the surface.
Wow. Wow.
20 meters up from the ground.
Living signals from Amarillo.
You good? Touchdown confirmed. President. President is continuing to transmit stress through microphone over there to us.
I think they said a few hours. I think they said a few hours.
Oh my god.
Apollo report, they're still getting telemetry from the lander. All right, I'll station it.
You got it.
I'm gonna wait for the images.
This is so exciting. The team is beside themselves. It's so surreal. Stay tuned.
Oh.
We might get some pictures.
If you have a flashlight on the ground,
Turn off your
We just heard the news that Perseverance is alive on the surface of Mars.
Flight will see the completion of the EL3000. Copy activity, that is as expected.
I think they said maybe they might have some photos, not video. That's what we said too.
Now, still seeing strong signal from the lander.
Still receiving strong signal from that, right?
We have just heard the news that Perseverance is alive on the surface of Mars. Congratulations to the mission. And looks like we have some more news in. It looks like we're getting the first image. Here we go. The first image.
This is Oriole 3. I have the target point on the map when you are ready. We are ready, all ready. Go for it. I'll be moving in, showing you the safe zone that we've landed in.
It's a shadow. It's a shadow, yeah.
For Perseverance on the surface of Mars. Now it comes from the engineering cameras known as the hazard camera. This camera is mainly used to help the rover drive safely around Mars, and we will get higher resolution photos later in the day.
That's cool. Awesome. Okay.